Hey guys, it's Rich and I was chilling out with the girls, so I thought it's quite a nice time to make a little video for you guys. If you're watching this and you're not on the blog, you need to click, there'll be a link somewhere because I'm probably not going to explain everything so well in this video because I'm a little bit distracted. But basically I wanted to talk about conversation. I was working with a customer recently very, very intensely over 4 days. I was spying on his dates, kind of listening in, making videos, and after every date that he had, I took some time, worked with him, told him everything that he did wrong and the things to incorporate next time. So by the end we came up with a very beautiful model for a conversation that goes from the beginning. I've listed some different ways to start the conversation in many places, also in the post that this will be linking to. But after that, what happens? So in the beginning, the guy was talking and he didn't know where to take the conversation. So he might ask the girl's name, then he might ask, what she's doing, talk a little bit about that. But whenever a conversation subject ran dry, he'd pause for a minute, it'd look uncomfortable, the girl would be uncomfortable, and it'd die out. Sometimes he was talking to a girl that was quite chatty and she'd give long answers, she'd ask him questions back, but there were a lot of girls that would just kind of give him one-word answers, especially in the beginning when they weren't quite relaxed. So we came up with this very nice model that basically involved first building a set of requirements, things that you look for in a girl, maybe that she's adventurous, that she's kind, that she likes children, and then you think about how to weave these subjects into things. So one of the things that he was saying was that he was walking today and he noticed that there were lots of different playgrounds all around this area, and it's a nice place for kids. There's kids playing everywhere, there's the park nearby, and he was thinking about that. So do you like children? And then he talks to her a bit about children. He gets his question answered, and what's important here is he's gone from asking questions when he doesn't really care about the answer, what do you like to do, tell me what's your job and do you like it, and this kind of stuff, to things that he actually wants to find out. So it made the conversation immediately more interesting. But the second thing that happened is sometimes he was talking to a girl about a subject and she wasn't that interested in it. So he asked one girl if she liked scuba diving, and she said that no, she was afraid because a friend of hers had this accident and she never wanted to do it. And in my mind I would think, okay, that means I'm not really going to go into it because it brings back bad memories. But he was going into it, talking a lot about it, and that was a big mistake. So the second thing that I told him to do was to jump around subjects, stay a little bit in a subject and move, but what you're looking for is the subject that she's really interested in. So you find out that she goes to yoga. So don't just say, oh, okay, how long have you done it? Oh, for 2 years. Okay, and what else do you like to do? Because that kills it dead. If she's done it for 2 years, she must really like doing it. Okay, so go into it, go deeper. If she's talking about something and her eyes light up, if she's interested, go deeper. If she's talking about something like her job, something that she's not so interested in, you can skip, and you want to keep looking for these areas that are golden and go deeper into those. Girls that were not very responsive, he learned to do most of the talking in the beginning, make longer statements until they loosen up and until they start giving more and longer answers, and especially if they start asking him questions back. Sometimes he'd had a conversation, it'd been like 10 minutes and he'd not revealed anything about himself. And I told him that a man needs to show his wisdom if he's older, his intelligence, if he can be funny, if he's got some interesting stories, excellent. So he started revealing a few things that were impressive, interesting about his life. The things that he did to start his business, some of his travels to beautiful places where he described not just in facts, but in terms of the sights and the sounds and the feelings that you would have in these places. And by revealing a couple of minutes of information, girls then gave the feedback afterwards when I asked them that he seemed intelligent when before they weren't saying that. that he seemed to have done a lot in his life, that he was successful, and basically all of these cool characteristics. So those are some very quick things on conversation, but like I said, check out what I've got for you in this post below. I go through all of the steps in detail, and even to the point where you can kind of think of any conversation like a flow chart, where you've got kind of do this, then do this, if she's doing that, then do this. And it's taken actually probably about 7 years to come up with this blueprint, so I hope you really enjoy it. Thanks for watching the video, thanks for reading the post, and I'll be back as always with more soon. Thanks guys.